Nah. Everybody ready? All right. Appreciate you guys being here. Back out on the field today, but it's it's exciting to know we're coming back home and chance to play in Bobby Dodd Stadium here this weekend. I know I'm excited. I know the team's excited after 2 road games, night games, that were long weeks. So it's good to get back home in front of our fans and excited to go play in front of those guys. And hope we got a really good crowd this weekend, and excited to be here. So it was a good win for us on Saturday night. A lot of things to take away from the game for the team that I think we addressed Sunday and were able to work on and see on film and see as a group, and encouraged by a lot of the things improvements we've made. And the thing I think that's really showing up is the recipe for success for this football team is taking shape, and the understanding of individual accountability, unit accountability, and then accountability within the whole team. But then it's a team game, and there was a point in the game the other night where it was I think it was 3rd down at the time, and I went over to the defense and I said, hey guys, we're going to go for it on 4th here. We got 2 downs right here. And it became 4th down. It was 4th and 5, I think, on the 25. And the defense said, go, coach, we got your back. We got the offense's back. And that was the first time this year that I've heard this team, not that there's been negative things said, but that was the first time there was a real rally around each other. And I'm almost getting chill bumps thinking about it right now, because that's a major step in a season. It's a major step in the building of a football team. And to see that and to see the excitement in those guys for each other in the game, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever, ups and downs, and those guys having each other's back. Special teams, having each other, having the other side's back. And we talked during the week about special teams. You start the flow of the game. You create momentum. All right, you get momentum back when it goes away from you, and I thought they did that at times in the game. So that was a major point that I feel like for this football team is important. And now we've got to be able to put 2 weeks together of the same mentality. And look, there's ups and downs in every game, but at the end of the day, we were able to win a game in the 4th quarter, and that says a lot about where we've come and the progress we're making. But as I've said before, the progress you've made is only as good as the last game you played. So we've got to continue to make that progress, and that starts during the week with the preparation and the practices. We've got a big challenge in front of us this weekend. We do, and they've got a really good quarterback. Number 7, running back, has the ability to run the ball inside, bounce the ball outside. We've got to be good on the defensive side of disrupting the running game. Keep and contain on the edges, which is something we have really worked on today. They have the ability to create some explosives with what they do offensively. Scott Loeffler's a heck of a football coach. He's been around a long time, called a lot of plays, coached a lot of really good players. Have a lot of respect for him as a head coach, and he understands what they have, what their strengths and what their weaknesses are on their team. They're going to get the ball out quick, so we've got to be able to do things on the defensive side to try to affect the game based on us and our strengths, but also with the game plan that we'll put in place. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they're a heavy zone, fire zone blitz team that they're going to be stunting and moving and bringing a 5th and a 6th guy a lot. So we've got to be prepared for that. You got 5 or 6 guys blocking. Now you got to sort out who those guys are, on the run, and be able to get the right hats on the right people. So and that's the run game and protection. So we've got a big challenge for us to get ready for this week. Record is no way indicative of any football team, in my opinion. And all you have to do is look at watch the first half of the Michigan game with this team. I mean, you're talking a 7-6 ball game, over halfway through the 2nd quarter, and they've created a lot of turnovers. They've had some untimely turnovers themselves. So we've got a challenge in front of us. It was good to see the team on Sunday come out to practice and have a good pep in their step. And we did conditioning at the end of practice, and it was as well as they've run as a team, so far this season. And then had another spirited practice today with a lot of good on good, competitive periods within the practice. So looking forward to the game this weekend. Excited to, like I said, get back out here in Bobby Dodd and play. And with that, open up for any questions.
Talked about the run game late Saturday night. After watching the film, where do you think maybe some issues are there? How do you get it maybe going better this weekend?
Yeah, there's, like I said, they were winning the game. They were a good defensive line, and we knew that. And, I thought in the pass pro part of the game, we're really making a lot of strides there. We really are. I mean, they twist and stunt and different things, and those guys to be able to, sort those things out. They did a really nice job in the pass protection part of it. In the run game part, we've got to become more consistent. And it's not like the old days where you line up, mano a mano and move a guy off the line of scrimmage. There's, they're going to slant, they're going to angle, they're going to move the front, and, to the direction or away from the direction you're running the ball. And then we've got to be able to sustain those blocks. All right, one thing, but there's certain things defenses do to take plays away, and we've got to be able to come back now with those complementary plays that affect that. I think as well, some of our play action game that we're continuing to work on and build out will help with some of the safeties that are starting to sit low on us and trying to get doubles on different guys, which has happened the last 2 games now, trying to vice and double different offensive players, skill players. So that's why we're coaches, and that's why we get back to work. And after 4 games now, the book's kind of out. People know what you're going to do in a lot of ways. They know what's been good against you, offense and defense. All right, so as much as it goes into preparing for the next team, you're also preparing against and ironing out your own flaws, the things that people have done previously against you. That's why self-scout is so important. I spend the majority of my day or my Sunday night and Monday doing self-scout on the offense, defense, and special teams of what people have done against us. What are our tendencies? What are we doing to break our tendencies? You start to get to 80% tendency in something, well, that's a telltale sign. So we want to smooth those tendencies back out, but at the same time, I think most good football teams do have tendencies because it means you're doing something good. But we've got to be able to look at it through the eyes of what the opposing defense or the opposing offense sees with our team, and that's something that I spend a lot of time with on Monday, and then sit down with offense, defense, and special teams throughout the day to get that plan put in place.
I was curious what you saw when you went back to watch penalties. You went from one extreme to the other. Yeah. Were they mostly, I guess, calls that you saw on the tape, and then also just kind of how do you address the different areas, because they were kind of across the board? Yeah,
they were. And we addressed it on Sunday night with the football team. At the end of the day, all the penalties could be called, every one of them, and that's on me. That's on our team, right? That's my responsibility. And have we been really good up until then? Yeah, we've been really good over the last, ever how many games? Yeah. One thing leads to another very quickly, and it's a very slippery slope when you talk about the emotional stability of young people and adults as well. And it's very easy to slip over that side and become emotional when you do things. And it was I challenged the team strongly last week. I challenged the defense strongly. I challenged both lines of scrimmage to be able to affect the quarterback on one side and protect the quarterback on the other. And we've got to be able to take those challenges, turn them into our play, but then not become emotional after we do have success based on those challenges. So it's something we talked about. We watched probably 20, 25 plays as a full team on Sunday night of the things that the way we're supposed to play the game and the way we are not supposed to play the game here at Georgia Tech.
Rob.
Going back to the running back group, you've been shorthanded for a couple games. How much would it mean to that group to get Dante Smith and Jamie Felix back in the mix and contributing?
Yeah, and we've got to get some other guys in there and playing, and but Dante's been banged up a little bit, and he's back to full speed now, so that's good to see. Number 4 back out there, running around full speed, and at that position, even when you are back fully healthy, if you hadn't had the contact in practice, right, it's hard to go into a game and do things, because now all of a sudden that ball might get loose, or you're leaning one way or the other, and so I think to get that group, some more guys in there, but at the same time, the guys that are in there have got to continue to play to the way we expect them to play. They got to continue to hold on to the football and be factors in the run game and the pass game.
Anything in the back? No? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Coach, 8 sacks. When you look at that number, guys were doing things right individually and as units. What is your takeaway from that as far as Kyle and what he's able to do? Could that be a springboard type of game? And overall, the wins that the defensive line and the unit as a whole got that could build on something moving down the road?
I mean, they need to do it again. Pretty simple, right? First question, why didn't you do it before? And second question is, are you going to do it again? So Kyle's playing good football. And Kyle Kennard was, he had a dominant performance. He really did. But me and Kyle had a long talk yesterday. We had long talks on Sunday, and you can help and hurt the team in the same way. And Kyle has showed so much maturity. Not just in the last year, in the last 4 weeks. And I'm extremely proud of him for the maturity he's shown. All right, but as you see, it only takes one small thing to go back off and to do things that become emotionally based, and to see the remorse in his face and know that he was not intentionally trying to do anything to hurt the team, but yet the outcome of it was to be able to have those conversations and talks with guys like that, because look, he's playing at a high level. He's doing a you talk about affecting the quarterback. He played really well, the last several games, and we've got to continue to have him play like that. And I'm convinced he will. But they accepted the challenge. It was kind of that time where enough's enough, and they took it personal, and they took it very personal that they had not been able to do what they feel like they were capable of doing, what they've been able to do all preseason. I mean, look, I think the offensive line is doing a nice job of protecting the quarterback, and there's been times over summer camp where we'd have a 12-play blitz series, and they'd get 10 or 11 of the plays would be sacks. So we knew the capabilities were there. We knew that that they could go do it. I think the mindset of being more aggressive and getting up the field, and the disruption in the run game, and it has helped. And I think Thacker's done a good job of adapting, over the last couple of weeks, game to game, some of the calls that have allowed those guys to play a little more freely and get up the field and cause some havoc.
Charlie?
I was curious about the decision you guys moved Macias and had him playing some end, and obviously it's very successful squeeze in the pocket and gave you some more size out there. Is that something you'd like to see, obviously, with losing Sylvain and having to kind of adjust on the fly a little bit at that position?
Yeah, and that was we played that way in the game the week before that. Who did we play the week before that? Ole Miss. We played that way the week before at Ole Miss, but it gives you the ability to jump in some of the mint fronts and play your 3 down and 4 down. Be able to have a bigger body to control the block of the tackle. That filled in is it's a bigger body guy. I mean, that's Sylvain was playing there. We've got Macias there. It makes us a little more stout in the run game. Obviously, he's got the ability to still jump inside and play the nose or 3. There's several different combinations we'd like to be able to get out there. That's one of them. I think the ability to get Kevin and Kyle both on the field at end, and I mean, I don't know if I'm drawing numbers around last night and today of different combinations of guys. To have Kevin and Kyle and have Horace and Zeke in the middle. I mean, that's a different looking D line now. I mean, be able to flip Macias inside and Douse inside and have the other two guys on the outside. So what we've done is we're starting to create a lot of flexibility in that front. And from an offensive standpoint, when you see, hey, these 4 guys run on the field, or these 3 guys run on the field, or this guy coming in to sub in, you don't necessarily know how the combination is going to work out. So you're not able as an offensive play caller on the other side of the field to say, okay, well, this guy's coming in now. They're going to be in this front, or they're going to be in this type of defense. All right, now you can become very multiple in the way you can align guys, and I think it makes it a lot harder on the other team's play caller.
Staying with the defensive line, Horace Lockett is getting a chance to play for the first time this year. What are you seeing from his progress, and how is he making the defensive line better, if so? Yeah,
I mean, he's big, he's massive. I mean, he moves extremely well for a big man that size. He got a few plays I think 10 or 12 plays he played against Louisville. A few more against South Carolina State. And then this past game, I think it was 30, 35 plays in the game that Horace played. And there's times where him and Zeke are in there, and I mean it's a wall. And I think having some success in that game has really propelled Horace now to understanding why myself and Marco have been on him to get those things done in practice, to be able to see the rewards in a game, and not just going there to fill a spot for a couple of plays in a game, but truly being there to make an impact. And you're talking a guy that's 6'5", 340 pounds that moves like a dancing bear. But now he's learning how to strain. He's learning how to finish. He's learning how to run to the ball. He's learning how to use his hands and get blockers off of him. And I'm excited about him. I've been excited about him for a long time. He's got a tremendous future, but that future, it's now, and we've got to continue progressing him in that way so he can be a factor for us.
Time for a couple more, Brandon.
Coach, another one on the run game. As you look to improve on the offensive line in the run game, Jamal's had some pretty good runs, some big pops. What are you seeing from his vision and his patience, and also what Haynes is able to do on the ground when he takes off and runs as well?
Yeah, well, anytime you have a quarterback that can be a factor in the run game, right, it's a huge bonus, and it makes life a lot easier on the offensive line. You're limited a little bit defensively when you have a guy that can run like that. As far as your pass rush and your blitzes that you put in for that week, knowing that some guys sit back there like a statue, and you're able to bring blitzes from whatever way you want. But when you got a guy that can make somebody miss and move up in the pocket and break contain, all right, that's scary from the defensive side. Right, and he can do that. So now it settles things down offensively, for the offensive line of what they're seeing on those third down situations. As far as designed runs, there might be one or two designed runs, that we look at with him. But, he's a guy that's going to do things with his feet without having a designed run per se for him. He carries the ball, 9, 10, 11 times a game. And, that's enough to break a defense down and really make them have to honor, that guy, the quarterback that can run like that. And the other thing is he's not just looking to run now. I mean, he's looking to run, get up, evade a rush, and still be able to throw the ball downfield. So now you're talking about you're plastering on the DBs having to plaster the receivers on the back end, and how the pass rush can't let him out. So I mean, it's a headache now for defenses when you have a guy like that's not just looking to run, he's also looking to throw the ball while he is running. So I think you saw that the other night in the game where those two times he had kind of a double, triple option-ish type plays where, he pulls out like he's about to throw it, and all of a sudden, one guy goes here, and just opens up right up the middle. So it's a headache to prepare for. Jamal's done a good job of, running and taking what's there, running, to the intent of the run. We're a wide zone stretch team, he understands how to press the landmarks and make the backers commit over the top, and then get vertical. What's impressive about him is he's got the ability to make something happen when nothing's there. And there was several times where they brought two off the backside edge, and he spins out of one of them, or a guy gets cut free in the B gap, and he's able to pop around him and still get out there and make yardage. And that's where a lot of his yardage is coming from. There's there's those 6, 8, 12-yard runs that are popping inside, but then he's getting some 12, 15, 18-yard runs when nothing actually is there to start with. And I think I think it was Jamal on one of them. He bounces the ball outside and in the game, and you see Haynes running down the sideline with him, and it gets 2 key blocks to spring him for an explosive run. So when I talk about a total team buy-in to what we're doing, those are the things that keep showing up that truly make me believe that we're on the right track.
Anything else? Clive, you want to wrap this up?
Sure. Today's an anniversary of you taking over as head coach here at Georgia Tech, and obviously very difficult day at that point, but just, I know you don't like to look back, but just kind of any thoughts about like just how the last year has been for you and kind of being in, I guess, your dream job too at the same time?
You threw the dream job in there to try to maybe bite a little bit more on that, didn't you? Not a chance, Kelly. I'm happy as you could be. I love every day when I wake up getting a chance to come in here and coach these kids and have a chance to impact these kids' lives. We've got a tremendous staff that I'm able to work with every day and try to put these kids in a position to be successful when football's over, to graduate from Georgia Tech and be successful on Saturdays and win play.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Go Jackets. Thanks, guys.
That's something that we're going to have with basketball starting yesterday, the first official day of practice, and basketball coaches here for 3 guys.
Centered.
Coach Stoudemire after.
Are we centered?
A little bit too late.